you're going to rely on motivation alone, then let me be the first to tell you that you cannot be successful that way. Because most successful people, yes, they get motivated, but most of the time they do things that need to be done whether or not they feel like it, and that is discipline. And that's what I want to talk about today. Hi, my name is Gina Komchinaba. I'm a lawyer, mom, wife, entrepreneur, and a content creator. I also have a 9 to 5, so I have run a very busy schedule, and there are so many times where I don't feel motivated to do anything. Like, I don't feel motivated to go to the gym. I don't feel motivated to create content. I don't feel motivated to do anything because I'm so exhausted. Not necessarily exhausted, I'm just not motivated, right? And I got to a point where I had to realize that if I was going to hit the goals that I had set for myself at the beginning of each year, the beginning of each month, then I would need something a bit more than motivation, right? So I created systems. And what do I mean by systems? I created a routine that helps me to be efficient and effective, whether or not I feel like doing what I'm supposed to do. So it's 3 main things. 1, look at your life holistically, right? Like I said, I am a mom, I'm a business owner, like I have so many things going on. So I had to look at my life holistically in the sense that all the important aspects of my life, right? And then I set goals for them. That's what we all do. I know we all do that, or we have vision boards that encapsulates other parts of our lives. But what I did was, when I was setting the goal, I broke my goal down using my goal system, which I will link a video and you can go and watch. It's an in-depth system for setting goals that help you to actually achieve the goals. But going a step beyond that, I did what it's called inversion. So inversion is it's a way of thinking. I think it was introduced by a French mathematician. I don't remember his name. I'll try and link the name in the comments. But anyway, it's looking at a problem or looking at a situation from the back instead of from the front. What do I mean by that? So let's say you want to be healthy. Instead of asking yourself what can I do to become healthy, you ask yourself, what is going to destroy my health? You list them down and do none of those things, right? Basically. Or what's going to make me go into debt? You list all those things that maybe indiscriminate spending, keeping up with the Joneses, lifestyle inflation, stuff like that, and then you don't do any of that. So that is what I do. So when I set a goal, let's say go to the gym 5 times a week, right? What is going to prevent me from going to the gym 5 times a week? Then I write it down. I realize that most people set goals, but we set goals in a mind state of everything going as planned. We set goals for the best case scenario, forgetting the worst case scenario, which is almost inevitable, right? My schedule just fluctuates so many times, but then inversion thinking has helped me to sort of create buffers for my goals so that in situations where it's not going as planned, I don't just fall off the wagon, right? So that's number 2. So number 1 is looking at your life holistically in all aspects of your life and seeing that like what people expect from you in all aspects of your life and what you expect from yourself in those aspects of your life. And number 2 is the law of inversion. And number 3 is giving yourself a buffer, right? Like I said, inversion is looking at things from backwards and then sort of preempting it and trying not to let those things happen. But life happens and you can't invest for everything and you can't prevent everything, but give yourself room. What do I mean by that? You know, sometimes we set goals. Let's say I'm going to go to the gym 5 times a week, and for 1 week you get sick and all of a sudden you lose momentum, you lose motivation, you don't go at all. You're like, you know, I'm just going to start next year. But then if you give yourself a buffer in the sense that, and it's a mental buffer, and it's not necessarily like a physical buffer, but it's a mental buffer in the sense that you tell yourself that, okay, maybe my goal is to save $1,000 this month. Maybe you had some unexplained emergencies or some bills rose, whatever it is, you weren't able to save that. Train your mind to accept the fact that like 1 failed goal doesn't mean you're a failure. And 1 failed goal or 1 failed instance of a goal doesn't mean the whole thing is messed up, right? And another thing that helps me to stay grounded even when I lose motivation is an identity shift. So I had to shift my identity to become a woman. I call myself an Imara woman, right? And Imara is a word from the Swahili language, and it means grounded, it means resilient, it means strong. And an Imara woman always finds a way, right? So that is the mindset I've gotten myself into. And one of the things I love to say is that if it's going to be, it's up to me. No one is coming to save me. And as much as sometimes I wish there's someone coming to save me, baby girl, no one's coming to save you. You have to do the work yourself. it's like, yes, you see people on Instagram, you see people on social media, oh yeah, I made my body overnight, I woke up like this. I didn't wake up like this. I have to put in the work. So sometimes so I'll give you an example. I was at the gym on Friday and we're doing a class and it was so hard, right? And all of a sudden I was like, I am an Imara woman. An Imara woman doesn't give up. And all of a sudden I just got this surge of energy, this surge of, like adrenaline rush, and I was just able to do that. I was like, oh my gosh. A mindset shift is very powerful. So shift your identity from someone who's struggling, shift your identity from someone who's overstressed, shift your identity from someone who's, like overburdened, to someone who's a powerful woman, a resilient woman, a woman who knows she was made for more and knows she has the capability to do more, but it's up to her. So basically, how to be more effective whether or not you feel like it without waiting for motivation. One, obviously, to be disciplined, and number two is to be consistent. There's this saying that I like. I think consistency beats intensity every time. So if you want to be consistent, maybe let's say your health, losing weight, going to the gym 30 minutes every single day is going to beat a 3-hour session once a month every single time, right? So find ways to be consistent, and these are little ways that you can be consistent. Putting mental buffers, law of inversion, looking at your life holistically, and planning not just for the best case scenario, but for the worst case scenario as well. And I want to leave you with this, and it's a saying that I heard from Viola Davis that I thought was so profound, and she said this. She said, hell is the day that the person you became meets the person you could have become. And that is my motto for the rest of my life. Like, I am not going to live in hell whilst I'm alive. So that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, lovelies.